Well, hello there, and welcome back to That Time We Woke Up in a Podcast and Had to Explain Manga, our heated adventures overanalyzing manga that we find interesting, also called the Over Manga Cast. It's the season of love once again, and you know what that means. Time for the most harem manga. The 100 Girlfriends Who Really, 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 Really Love You, written by Rikito Nakamura and illustrated by Yukiko Nozawa. We read chapters 39 through 59. So, watch the candles, they're a fire hazard, and enjoy the show. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Over Manga Cast. My name is Sam, and as always, here at the top of the show, we talk about what our familiarity with the franchise that we read this week is. As it has been with the other Valentine's Days, I don't really consume this beyond the fact that one of my friends is current with the manga, and he'll occasionally post about it. How about you, Matt?
I occasionally see panels of this referenced from newer chapters, typically for meme potential. Like, just for example, the lap bed that we get in like the later part of our reading. I saw that, but I don't read this, so
Fair. Jay, how about you?
Sure. So I'm blissfully insulated from all of this on my Twitter feed, so I do not have to interact with this outside of this reading. It's beautiful.
And Jacob.
I've been consistently disinterested with this, so it's a Valentine's tradition for the podcast, and that's it.
Alrighty. And we open up our adventure into the Century Harem this year with, of course, it's time to introduce a new girl. Rentarō is at an art show, I guess. He's somewhere where something pretty is happening. And he spots a very glamorous woman, and upon glancing at her face, zing! And we have our first new girlfriend of the reading, the extremely narcissistic Mimimi Utsushi.
It's Sugi.
Thank you, Jay.
Which literally translates to "I'm too beautiful."
I'm just going to call her Mimimi.
Mimi.
She is more than happy to allow Rentarō to gaze upon her stunning beauty.
Which is baffling, because there is no prior interaction. It is literally, she spots him and immediately zeroes in.
yeah, and like just any amount of attention too. She's just like, well, yes, of course we'd be boyfriend and girlfriend. Well, time to give you a makeover to look identical to me.
She turns him into an influencer boy in a panel.
I mean, she knows what she likes, I guess.
Well, no, the moral of this chapter is she doesn't know what she likes, but
Rentarō, now done up in the same outfit as her, right down to platinum blonde hair and the red eyes. They go to get some food at the food court, and we get some more of Mimimi's gimmick, which is she's incredibly beautiful, and she knows it, and goddammit, she works for it.
Work.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, we get a brief panel of her like practicing the beauty thing, and honestly, I think she looks better with the pulled back hair and glasses.
Yes, but that's her casual outfit. We have her doing various beauty routines and learning to speak like an Ojo-sama. I feel like eventually he's going to reach a critical capacity of Ojo-samas.
Oh no.
And the sheer amount of self-pretension is just going to crack the universe.
So the problem is every time he gets an Ojo-sama, the Ojo-sama loses that character trait and just becomes a different thing.
Yeah, like she still keeps up the fancy talk, like she ends everything with naturally or but of course.
Well, because Hahari's mom also started with, yes, I am a rich lady, but also very horny.
No, Hahari is the mom.
Hahari is the mom, Hakari is the daughter.
I don't know. There's like 17 names. Please just let me live.
All I'm saying is I can't wait for Rentarō to get the hat trick and get the grandma too.
Yeah, it's coming.
Write in if Sam's right about there being a grandma, because at this point, I feel like Steve Harvey right now, just naked grandma is like, if I had to pick what the next girl was, Naked grandma's up there.
Yep. The drama of this chapter comes when a random couple at the food court finds Mimimi and Rentarō too pretentious, and the boy, in a fit of, I guess, jealous rage, goes to splash his drink over
This
her
is
outfit.
not motivated. Don't try to pretend this is motivated.
No, it is. It's the girlfriend says something to imply that she's feeling self-conscious about how beautiful that woman is.
Mhm.
So he's doing this to take her down a peg so that the girl he's with feels better.
Yes, like literally, they're making me feel uncomfortable. Okay, I'm gonna do something about it. And it's like,
I'm gonna go assault someone.
I was gonna say the reaction is something you would expect from this manga.
yes.
So he throws his drink at her. Rentaro's just like, oh no, her delicate physics cannot be harmed by a drink, and then proceeds to like full on bodyguard take the shot to his back.
Get down, Mr. President.
Yes. Yes, that.
The assailant tries to run because the mall cop is very
Very British.
Very British. The mall cop is very British. He almost slips on his own mess. Rentarō catches him so that he doesn't ruin his own clothing, because Rentarō is just such a good fucking guy.
Yes. He is a boyfriend among them all who inspires them all.
Steel sharpens steel, King.
It's just like, no, you don't understand. I knew whatever you were doing was just to defend your girlfriend's honor. I would do the same thing. And I'm like, Rentarō, that doesn't sound healthy. But
Let him have this. Let him cook.
Look, Rentarō is simply built different.
Yes.
Well, it's genuinely astounding that this series can have the character who makes the empathetic choice that I usually love seeing protagonists take. And I'm like, yeah, that was a thing that happened. Why is this scene still going? I don't even know if that's a complaint or not. I can't tell anymore.
Moved by the beauty of his heart, Mimimi removes the various cosmetics she had put on Rentarō, because the true beauty of him comes from within, and she officially joins the girlfriend squad as lucky number 10.
Ooh.
That's a milestone.
I love Mimimi's response of just like, wait, 9 girlfriends, including me? Excluding you. 10. What an auspicious number. The perfect number for such a beauty.
Yes. You go, girl.
And that means we are officially 10% of the way through the girlfriends. Congratulations, everybody. It only took us 3 episodes and 40 chapters.
More importantly, it has taken us 3 years.
Yeah,
Are we having fun yet? Are we having fun, everyone?
I like a roller coaster. There are ups and downs with this series.
by some measures of fun. But what is this? Drama, conflict, even, because it just so happens that Nano and Shizuka, 2 of the other members of the girlfriend squad, in case you forgot, listeners, happen to be in the mall. And they come up to see what all the fuss is and find Rentarō. And as they're just chatting, he's like, oh, by the way, got another one. Here's Mimimi Senpai. And she is ragingly furious at the sight of Nano, because they have a dark past.
A very dark past for some reason.
Although I do love the bit of at some point earlier in the chapter, Rentarō in his head compared Mimimi to Nano in terms of beauty, and he's like, "Oh crap! My random speculation earlier turned out to be a spoiler. I'm very sorry, reader."
Oh. Yeah, I gotta say, speaking of roller coasters, I didn't like a lot of the fourth wall breaks and meta jokes in the first reading. Second reading, they toned them down, and there were a couple of them that worked for me in this section, but boy, were there a lot of them that kind of felt to me like, you can't criticize us because we're a parody, and I hate those jokes.
I'm just going to be my normal self and disagree with Jacob vehemently. Most of the meta things were the only things I enjoyed about this. So, Jacob, don't take away my happiness.
You know what? You can have them.
And thusly, balance is restored. But yeah, turns out big dramatic past is that when they were in middle school, Nano and Mimimi were both at a beauty contest. Nano won. Mimimi graciously accepted her loss and was like, let us become friends so we can grow more beautiful together. except this was before Nano met Rentarō and had her character arc. And so deeming
very generous with that use of the term, but yes.
And so deeming friendship to be inefficient, coldly turns her down and walks off stage. And that wound has festered unbeautifully for years. And now, because Mimi cannot stand to be in the same harem as this bit, they're going to be having a beauty seeking contest where the loser is banished from Rentarō's family.
And this is an established sport that is well respected amongst the beautiful community.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
The pretties.
Jacob, I sense hesitation in your voice, and I can understand why you wouldn't know this exists.
Oh my god. Why?
Wow, Matt.
What? He's not wrong.
But still, like, ow.
Could have hit me with that too. Like, come on.
Yeah, but you weren't disagreeing with it.
Oh, and once again, order is restored. Anyway.
Akane, the straight man savior that she is, demands an explanation of this rule set, which is basically Nano and Mimimi will face off to point out beautiful things about the subject in question. And after 6 minutes, whoever has pointed out the most things as correctly, as judged by Rentarō, is deemed the winner. Whoever has the most wins at the end of the contest gets to stay. The other is banished forever. And it just turns into an entire chapter of pointing out all the different things about the girls that are beautiful.
Which Rentarō, of course, is like an expert on. Runs through his head.
Yeah, except like the main hiccup is that when Nano has to say things that are beautiful about Shizuka, she just names things that are cute because they're pairing all the girls up.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically with senpais and underclassmen.
Yeah, senpais and kohais. And so Shizuka has been spending a lot of time with Nano, and Nano can only notice the cute things at this point, which, as Rentarō points out, is not a beauty point. It's a cute point. Important difference.
And then Rentarō decides that he can't have his family destroyed, so he needs to get them to end in a tie. So he sabotages his answers when people have to point out the beautiful parts about him by one of them says, he's got such amazingly defined eyebrows, and he shaves his eyebrows off. Mm-hmm. And then he proceeds to make sure neither of them get any points. And I'm just wondering the entire time, wait, no, that just means that Mimimi wins. That's not a tie.
Well, no, it's because it was 4 wins to 4 wins, and then Rentarō was the tiebreaker. Because Nano completely bombed the Shizuka round.
I wasn't paying close enough attention to the math to...
It actually does math, which I didn't expect this manga to do. Either way, Rentarō's final form is divine to look upon.
Yes, it is.
I like that. That was a good joke.
It's just him in the brilliant rays of sunlight with his bald head, his Groucho glasses, and his giant cock.
It is something that must be seen.
Yes. Beautiful.
And so with this tie, meaning that neither of them can be banished, Nano has finally worked up the nerve to apologize for her Ice Queen behavior all those years ago. And we also learned that the only reason Nano was in this beauty contest was because Mimimi set her up for it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which I thought was that was a nice little coda to why is Nano in this? She wouldn't do this, especially not before her character development question mark. But order is restored, new girlfriend is added. And as is always the case, we have the girlfriend edition arc. Now we must have the chapter of everyone dealing with her gimmick.
And they were all like little, like, I don't want to know, like mini deities off of Venus or something. Angel.
Yeah, little nymphs.
Yes.
Around the Venus that is Mimi. And the gimmick in this one is just that kissing releases serotonin and estrogen and all that good stuff that makes you glow and that makes you more beautiful. So everyone make out with Rentarō. Shizuka get us an aphrodisiac so all of them have an O face after kissing.
Yeah, I was about to say, more importantly, they all had to take, like, drugs.
Yes.
So that kissing makes them come.
Yes. We just get an entire panel of O faces, and it's what you expect.
Yes, it is exactly what we would expect.
I read this chapter, and I'm just like, yep, that 100 Girlfriends knows what it is and will never apologize for that fact.
Yes.
I can respect it for that.
Oh.
And pretty much only for that.
This also has one of the funniest jokes in the entire thing, where after they've all been beautified by the kissing, their art style changed.
And because Rentarō was the one getting kissed the whole time.
He's transcended into the third dimension.
As he becomes an Adonis statue.
And they double down on that joke by the little added panel at the end being like, your stupid quip blocked our view of his junk. God damn, when this manga hits, it hits. But
an entire panel of shoujo sparkles into just the Vitruvian Rentarō. It's great.
Oh, you also get a mini chapter of baseball girls.
Oh yeah, Iku.
I really didn't like this chapter.
Yeah, it sure did happen, didn't it?
It's literally her younger brother going like, I think I was trying to train my sister how to be good at baseball. I think I accidentally just gave her a spanking kink.
That's the chapter.
To be fair, he is horrified at this realization. So.
And it's hard to say it's his fault, because all he does is like, hey, I know it's hard, but you want to get better at this and you have to push through the pain.
It's literally no pain, no gain. And it's just like, yes, gain pain. I understand. No.
No, that's not what I said or implied. But
really, it just accidentally awoke something in her, and then that veered off in a different direction. It's really no one's fault. We don't kink shame on this podcast. We just definitely ask why.
I'm just pissed that I get called out so frequently in this manga. In ways I can't.
Sam, you don't get to be pissed in this manga. There's someone else who has maintained that and will remind you of it every single time she appears. Or continue being equally trashy. I guess this proves you can do that and succeed. I really don't know anymore.
You know,
this manga is just a test to the fact that you could make absolute garbage. And yeah,
it really doubles down is the thing. It's just like, wow, this is really trashy. And then it just acknowledges, yes, we're really trashy.
You are correct.
Anyway, let's do it more.
And then it circles around. It's the absurdity of going so far in a direction and then just circling it back around, and it becomes funny again.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, on that same boat, who wants a tentacle monster arc?
Me.
Yeah.
So the entire point of this is Rentarō has shaved his head from the previous chapter, so he is bald.
Mm-hmm.
Hahari says something along the lines of a hair growth tonic and then takes it herself for some reason.
Yes.
Okay. I was hoping someone else would understand this better than I did, but I guess...
Not a clue.
Okay.
I mean, there's like no explanation either. She's just like, I'm taking this. And then immediately like, what?
I gotta say, one of my favorite meta jokes is how this chapter begins, though, because it's a crew in the North Pole going like, you don't understand. In chapter 1, it was the beginning of the school year, but only in chapter 31, they said the sakura blossoms were out. That couldn't possibly be the writer being a hack. That has to be a severe climate change. We're going into a second ice age. I'm just like, perfect. I love this.
The sun has lost its power.
I love it so much.
Oh.
And then Hahari turns into an Akira monster, but made of hair. And really, well, that's it. It represents her true personality, which is
yes, lust.
Because she drinks the hair growth tonic and the gain manual control of your hair tonic at the same time, which is too much power. She loses power. Yes, she loses conscious control of it and so just becomes a rampaging tentacle monster trying to grab all the cute things and grope them.
I gotta say, for what this chapter was, it was a very easy read.
Yeah, because it's like it's any other sci-fi monster flick. It's just, you know, we have
Couched
to.
in this horny, stupid nonsense.
I gotta say, this was as fun as Kiss Zombies for me.
Yeah.
Because it's Kiss Zombies, but it's tentacles.
Because it's literally the girls going like, oh no, we can't get caught, we're going to die. And then they get caught and they're very into getting caught.
Ooh, yeah.
and Rentarō going like, no!
They've got a great scene where they all pile into a car and they're like, the car is not starting. Ah, yes, the PTA is concerned that we're going to display dangerous driving practices of putting too many children in a car.
No, it's because the hair is tied up in the wheel wells.
I don't think the PTA cares about the driving. It's the fact that people are getting molested every page.
Everybody gets captured, you know, one person at a time, so we can get the glamour panel. So the girl's getting tentacled. It's
gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's gorge, super gorge.
And it ends with me, and Nano. And at some point, Rentarō sprained his ankle, so he can't run.
Mm-hmm.
It's the three of them on a rooftop, fighting off the hair tentacles, and the whole world, the entire planet,
It's just hair.
been engulfed. And again, I must ask, what the fuck is in Kurumi's drugs?
You see, children. Science.
Concentrated science.
I know it's concentrated gag manga juice, but like, come on.
I'm just saying, at this point, I was just like, yeah, okay, this hair thing's going on. And then it just turns into an action movie, and I'm like, okay, you went over the absurdity line. You've brought me back in. Because they have to run to get into a helicopter. As they've decided the only way to stop this is to go to the center of the storm, the scalp.
At which point, Rentarō dives in and basically awakens Hahari from her coma.
She's entirely enveloped and is just like, I must reach her.
Is this an Evangelion reference? I don't remember because I haven't watched
not
Evangelion in a long
specifically
time.
Evangelion. It becomes an Evangelion reference later on. Oh my god.
Yeah, well, there is also a very big Eva reference later, yes. I don't know if I just wasn't noticing them before or not, but boy, this manga makes reference to everything else under the sun. Mm-hmm. You can tell how much that the writer and artist are enjoying it because they keep constantly mentioning the things that they like.
But anyway, Rentarō wakes up Hahari from her coma. The hair leaves the planet. They snip it off of her head and it flies into the sun
and reignites the sun. Meanwhile, Hahari's going on like a whole mental breakdown because she almost ended the world and she's like, everyone must hate me. But Rentaro's such a good boyfriend. He has to go, no, if you actually look at the news coverage, everyone's saying it felt like being held in a mother's embrace. They all loved you so much. Also, I need to come clean with you. I'm the one who encouraged you to do this because I had been watching news coverage of those people at the North Pole saying the sun was going to go out in a second ice age. I couldn't subject my girlfriends to a second ice age, so I had all of this to reignite the sun with your hair.
Total bullshit. Gaslighting bullshit.
Aijou Rentarō is built differently, man.
I stood up and started clapping.
He is a man among men, a god among kings. I love this man.
Oh my
gosh.
I hope he has an A in his creative writing class.
I don't think he goes to school.
It's more of a suggestion at this point.
Yes, it was the entire human race either being lovingly hugged by a mother or, I guess, just really being into tentacles, and those are the only options.
¿Por qué no los dos?
For some people, it was probably both.
It's not like this manga doesn't indulge in that, so, you know.
Anyway, it's now been 2 chapters since we had a chapter entirely focused on kissing. Kurumi and Frenching, right?
Yeah. Tell us about
girl who like food want to have the taste of a French.
She want to taste that tongue.
Oh yeah.
But unfortunately, as far as I understand, the problem is she wants to French kiss Rentarō, but because they're all an equal part of whatever this polyamorous situation is, there's too many people to call it any words I know the words for. Like, the main deal is if he kisses her, he would have to kiss everyone, and not everyone is ready to move their relationship to the tongue kissing stage. So she's just got to suck it up. Phrasing. She's got to just deal with not tongue kissing.
But you might remember that if Kurumi doesn't get the flavor she's craving, she enters full like punk mode, antisocial attitude. Everyone's just like, Kurumi, it's literally okay. You can just do that. And she's like, no, I refuse to get a head start on the other girls. I won't be like that. It's not family friendly.
Yes, because this series is known for its family friendliness.
Then Rentarō is also... I don't get Rentarō's take in this chapter, because he seems to be, I need to treat them all equally, which means they get the same thing. Not that they feel that their own needs are being taken care of.
Well, he does take them away from each other so that he has like that one-on-one connection to make sure that their needs are met, but then they somehow turn it into the sisterhood where they're just like, your needs are actually all our exact needs. We've got this. It's weird. But he does like try to like individualize them at times. I have to give him that.
But you would think if he genuinely was as in tune with each of them as he seems to be, he'd be like, no, obviously different ones of them would prefer different stages of the relationship.
But I don't know where that's coming from. It's kind of like they've become their own hive mind. Like,
you're right. But he's getting outvoted. But anyway, because there's the miscommunication here, Rentaro's like, don't worry, babe, I'll tongue kiss you. And then takes her to a hotel because he goes on a date. He takes her to a nice Italian restaurant that's called Italiana Tomatoes.
Only the best for you, babe.
Only the best Italian food.
I also love this particular chapter in JoJo's Part 4.
And they end the date on the bench and go like, hey, you wanted to tongue kiss? And she's like, not in public. He's like, don't worry. I'm going to go to a love hotel. Then proceeds to find a very classy love hotel. And they sit at the table.
Hotel newly fresh.
Oh. And then there is a light blackout. And, oh no, I thought this was a meta joke that I thought was really funny. Because it was them basically going into the love hotel, kissing, and then fade to black. And I'm like, oh, and then the light just comes back on. And like, oh, that's really funny. But no, that's a secret for later. Because it turns out they had Hahari dress in a morph suit and then used advanced special effects technology to photo map Rentarō onto her so that she could make out with someone. And I'm like, that's sexual assault, but I guess we're just going to move past that.
And I also thought that. And then the manga made it worse because Hahari, of course, can't control herself and leaps out of the projection map. So it's just her in the morph suit now. And now that the jig is up, all the other girls are under the bed.
And in order for it to be fair, they all took sleeping pills and put a blindfold on Hahari and had her make out with one of them, but didn't tell them who she made out with so that it could be anybody. And I'm like, what the is going on? How is this better?
How does this help?
Well, you see, she was rearing to go, and she didn't really have a care for who it was. She wanted to French kiss people.
And the narration tells us that the victim was Hikari, her daughter.
Because it mattered less because she'd already gotten plenty of French kisses as a baby.
No!
And we do not unpack that at all.
I don't want to unpack that. I'm very uncomfortable right now.
I'm just saying, you don't practice French kissing on your little infant child? What is wrong with these people?
Okay, she wasn't practicing French kissing on her infant child. I think that's taking it a bit beyond what the manga's displaying.
The only thing
I don't know what the manga's displaying.
The only thing in this that made a lick of sense to me, pun intended, was they went out for Italian food and then had Hahari eat the same Italian dish so that her and Rentaro's mouths would taste the same.
Because they swapped when the lights went out. That's when they swapped places.
I also really like how like they went to that level of detail for the sensory stimulation, but not the fact that Rentarō is his body shape is a rectangle and Hahari is a very curvy hourglass and taller.
It doesn't matter.
For this universe, Sam.
To be fair, that is the joke, is that this
this doesn't make sense.
This is like Scooby-Doo level of like, yes, it was really that guy. And how did this person pretend to be a Blackbeard ghost? Well, we had holograms set up an entire armada of ships in the harbor. And I'm like, this is 1970s technology. How does that work? Actually, no.
This is a Scooby-Doo plot. Oh my god. I don't know how that didn't twig to me earlier.
As long as we're complaining about Scooby-Doo, there is the reveal in one of the mysteries that the robot was just an actual robot.
I
and they're
know
just
that
fine with
episode.
And I'm like, that's not a solution.
I'm really glad that he's in there and we're out here and he's in there and he's the sheriff and I'm in there and I just remembered that the next girl has massive bangs.
She does have massive bangs.
She does have massive bangs. That is also very, very true. They're not just regular bangs.
Also, her name is, I can only assume it's supposed to be Meme, but her name's Meme-chan because we have two girls, one after another, both named Mimi.
We have Mimi and now we have Meme.
I just been calling Kakure because Kakure means to hide or hidden.
That probably makes more sense.
So
Meme-chan is funnier.
If I spoke Japanese.
Meme-chan is just funnier.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Meme-chan.
But yeah, anyway, girl with massive bangs runs into Rentarō and he's just like, hey, she's in our class. I always noticed her because her character design is incredibly elaborate for a background character.
I hate it when that happens. Can't you just love it when you can like pick out the main character?
And because of a surprise gust of wind, her bangs are revealed to Rentarō, something she has not done to anyone her entire life because she is painfully shy. But because of how his curse works, they make eye contact and then fall in love.
Well, only after several panels of her trying to hold the bangs down and not holding her skirt down, so plenty of panty shots.
Saying though, she is wearing tights, so it's not as bad. So, yeah.
Jay, you know that just makes it hotter for some people.
I'm not going to take it any further. I'll just let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go.
I did have problems with like the angle they were doing that from. I'm like, you wouldn't see much through those tights at that angle because the point of pantyhose is the sexy part of pantyhose is the posing, but whatever.
Matt, you can't just keep it pushing.
Yeah, I guess she just wears porno pantyhose all the time is really the solution there.
I'd buy it. Look,
you'd buy porno pantyhose, Sam?
Yes.
Oh gosh, how'd you know he has an entire drawer full?
Well, if you check out the OverMangaCast Patreon,
you can get the pictures.
I thought that was the OnlyFans.
I was voted possessor of the best ass in our college house, so
we did get banned from OnlyFans for everything Cis Confidential did.
That explains it.
Anyway, Rentarō saves her life because the sudden wind gust threw a Final Destination billboard at her that would have cut her in half or something. I don't know. But it does cause Rentarō to gaze past her bangs. She's got the shonen shoujo eyes, which gave me flashbacks. And then the thing happened.
Okay, her eyes are just blocked by a sound effect. It's not.
I know, but it looks the same as the shonen shoujo eyes.
It is.
I understand.
Nothing we read will ever be as good as shonen shoujo.
We're all just going to have to accept that.
I understand this particular manga's dubious relationship with the existence of the fourth wall and how that created a similar effect. The point of Meme-chan is that she is so ridiculously shy that she will do anything to keep people from looking her in the face. She tried masks, that just drew more attention to her. Now she just wears her bangs extremely long.
She also has an innate ability she's discovered of basically the Naruto log jutsu, where if she's ever the center of attention, she throws a stuffed animal and like uses it as a distraction to just disappear.
Yeah, she flash steps.
Yeah. Gotta have that.
She's got the sound effect and everything.
So Rentarō tries to make contact with her. She keeps flash stepping away.
He eventually tracks her down because she has to keep flash stepping. She gets tired. He finds her behind a curtain. He's just like, "You're not going to run away from my love for you. You deserve to be loved." And she's like, "Oh," and just overpowered with such feelings, it destroys her shapewear, revealing that not only does she hide her eyes, she hides her giant-sized G boobs.
Yes.
Not even G, it's I. Like she outpaces Hikari. That's part of the joke.
Wait, I'm sorry. Wait, is the
She's-
G what is with the shapewear?
Yes.
Yes.
Because
Like she's even larger. And so she's like, "Oh, I think we're about the same size." And it's like, no.
because Hikari is taunting
Karumi or Karate about, God, there's so many characters. Yeah, and that's when it's revealed to Hikari that no, actually you're actually I think third place now.
I do appreciate that the girl with the biggest boobs also has a sweater because she
Sweater
got them sweater
puppies.
puppies.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Though during the whole like this whole bit of Rentarō trying to get to talk to Meme-chan, there is a really good this is one of the meta jokes that I really, really liked, where she disappeared and no one ever saw her again. And there's like a little end chapter note of she was the one person he couldn't save. That's bullshit! He rips the manga in half.
I love that so much because it legitimately, I thought that was going to be the chapter break because that's how it was phrased and everything. And it even had like the next week, the series title will be corrected to 99 girlfriends.
And then
remember,
Rentarō just rips those pages out of the manga. That was really funny.
Yeah,
I liked that.
That was peak. I like that a lot. So the only thing to do when one of the new girlfriends is basically a ninja is to do a hide and seek chapter. And again, this is the classic of we've introduced the new girlfriend to the harem, now we just do something with their gimmick. And it's hide and seek shenanigans. All the girls go to put themselves somewhere in the school that messes with their particular shtick. Iku clings to the ceiling in a way that strains her muscles so much that I sure hope that's sweat pooling on the ground.
It's not.
It's not. Karane and Hikari hide in the same box in the supply closet makeout shed, which that
was, they knew what they were going for that.
Mm-hmm.
They did reveal themselves because they're like, hold on, this is getting way too close to 69.
they did accidentally 69, which was very impressive.
Accidental 69.
Nano and Shizuka hid in the same closet, and it was so comfy that they just started napping.
That's a vibe.
They're very comfortable in that closet.
Yeah,
Yes.
They're like, I don't think we should break them up. Just leave them alone.
I feel like they had the best time out of anybody.
That's not true.
That is not true objectively, yes.
Objectively, Hikari had the best time out of anybody. With Iku being a close second.
Yep.
Yeah. Mei was also clinging to the ceiling and was getting a similar level of gratification out of her devotion to Hahari's orders to remain hidden.
Yeah.
So anyway, they end up finding Meme-chan. Because turns out she was hiding in the vice principal's afro. Because why not? Like, it doesn't matter.
That was so, I was like, is it growing?
That was actually a decent Chekhov's gun because the vice principal just doesn't show up very much, so you don't notice a difference in her character design, which they then diegetically point out.
I thought it was just an artist mistake.
Nope. Turns out Meme-chan was hiding in her hair the whole time.
Oh, but she was the last one to be found, so she is rewarded with a kiss, which Rentarō has to do by surprise. Because she's too self-conscious otherwise.
She's gobsmacked. Literally. They're gobs smacked together.
Oh my gosh, I hate that word so much.
Anyway, there's another chapter of Mei wanting to get a gift for Hahari, and it's just a reason to make Rentarō cross-dress.
Yeah, I was about to say, I really didn't get the point of this chapter, except for the chastity belt, which was hilarious.
The chastity belt was very funny.
Looks like Astro Boy's briefs.
Which also, I gotta point out, terrible gift for Hahari, because the
Her
entire
boyfriend.
thing is like she can't find anything because she's too great, and she just gives Rentarō to him to her at the end because you've got 30 minutes alone with him, and then proceeds to have a chastity belt. So she's like, "Oh, I can't even do anything." Well, at least you can like do some like cool, fun play with me. So like, no, if he gets aroused in any way, he will be dismembered by the like insane number of blades on the inside of that chastity belt. Why would you do that?
So she just makes Rentarō cross-dress a whole bunch.
She has to do things that she would enjoy, but she knows he wouldn't.
Mm-hmm. Which manga.
I'm just saying, Rentarō. If Rentarō can't get a boner for like making his girlfriend happy, is he even really the best boyfriend?
This manga asks a lot of questions I don't want answered.
Anyway, Dragon Ball Z references, am I right?
I mean, kind of, but not really.
Mostly at the end. Karane feels bad that she can't ever accept compliments and always does the full Sun thing.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of just letting the Dare out like she's allowed to, we go for more of the gag manga drugs.
Yes,
which actually work as stated on the label for once, which was kind of weird.
Yeah, I was about to say, Kusuri just made an actual cure for tsundere-ness.
Because you see, the tsundere response is an electrochemical reaction in the mind. And if we can isolate that and purge it from the body, then she will no longer be tsundere.
I do like the little word play of like when those like motes of tsundere energy are released, they're called tsundere-rays. Basically, there's just a whole bit with Karane not being tsundere and able to just accept people's love, and they're constantly up for it, except for my girl Iku, who has
she's the first one to not be happy about it.
Because she's like, hit me on the butt with the bat, and then she does, but it's like a light girl tap, and the look of just disdain is identical to the main character from My Girlfriend Gives Me Goosebumps. Yeah. When he's just like, I thought she was vanilla, or I thought she was a freak, but she's actually vanilla.
It's the same eyes! Again, this manga giving eyes that just give me flashbacks.
Everybody but Hikari basically starts realizing they liked her better as a tsundere. I find it hilarious that Hikari's like, no, I like her like this. I'm outvoted, fine.
The comedy of the panel of Iku being like, I like the original Karane too. And it's supposed to be like so sweet, like I liked her for who she was, and then just an entire panel of her rubbing her butt like that didn't even hurt.
She knows what she likes.
So they decide that they need to fix this. So how they do it is they're like, well, we need to bring her back to the start. We need it when it was just Rentarō, her, and Hikari. It's going to be the three of them just hanging out at Hikari's house, and they're going to be on the bed, and they're going to make out, and then that's not going to work. So Hikari's going to take Karane to the bath, and they just have sex.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Yes.
It is.
Canonically, yes.
We do have a sort of weird. I'm not sure how I feel about this, because the end of the chapter that starts this arc is Karane doesn't want to, because of course Kusuri whips up the tsundere recreator drug or whatever, and Karane's like, I'm not going to do it. I can actually express my feelings in love like this. I won't do it. And Rentarō, I get where he's coming from. He's trying to say, are you saying you don't want to go back to this because you hated who you were, or because you like who you are right now? Because those are two very different things.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty clear. I'm going to be honest. Like, I think it was, Rentarō has a pretty good speech about how it's like, if you want to change, that's fine, but I'm not going to tolerate someone who badmouths the woman I fell in love with. Like,
yeah. And by the end of it, I did get it, and I'm with him on that. it was the original where Karane's like, no, I won't do it. This is the one I want. And he's like, no.
I'm just saying Rentarō is a boyfriend among men.
He is
Top tier.
He does ultimately I do ultimately see his point. And it is just hilarious that she drinks the Tsundere Recreator drug. The light force begins to fly back into her. Except it's not enough power. It's barely any Tsundere restored.
So eventually they decide they have to use the spirit bomb. They just call it the spirit bomb.
Because everyone has innate Tsundere powers within them. So if they could just harness that and give it all to Goku, I mean Rentarō.
Yep.
I like how Hikari's just like, if he's Goku, I'm Chi-Chi. And I'm like, you want to never make out with him?
No,
canonically, that's how that works.
No, it's because of the giant tits and having his babies.
Chi-Chi has giant tits? I don't think that's true.
By Dragon Ball standards.
By Dragon Ball standards. And also having his kids.
I don't know. Goku's got some pretty massive pecs by the end. Super Saiyan 2, they all got massive pecs.
Gohan and Goten are the most important part of that comparison, I think.
Oh.
But yeah, so they need to channel all the Tsundere energy into a Tsundere bomb. And it's basically just an excuse to have all the girls do Tsundere nonsense. Except some of them are bad at it, and some of them are too good at it, but it's just a bunch of panels. And then at the end, they're like, that was a lot of work. What are you talking about? We need to do this for 3 more hours. What?
And every time one of them does a Tsundere thing, they lose some of their power as it's channeled into the spirit bomb. So it's them going, and collapsing. But, he finally gets the entire super spirit bomb. Except it's the different Tsundere aspects of all the other girlfriends. It's too unfocused. He can't channel it into one blast for Karane. But the thing that solidifies it is when Karane is trying to ask him to not push himself too much. He has a Tsundere moment. This is the power. And he's like, the true purpose, the true strength of the Tsundere is the real emotion shining through the embarrassment and rejection. And it is a whole page of the various montage moments of throughout the whole series of Karane being Tsundere.
Of the Dare. It's specifically all the Dare moments.
Mm-hmm. And that allows him to finally coalesce the power into a single I love you and fire the spirit bomb at her. It's weirdly extremely moving. Maybe not extremely, but like it
is an effective implementation of a good trope.
Yes.
And that's why this manga is just flabbergasting. There are just so many tropes, cheesy tropes, that are just pretty well executed.
But anyway, it works. Her Tsundere powers are back.
All right.
Well, kind of.
Well, yes.
Because she now is able to occasionally just say, I love you to Rentarō. Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh no, she's reverting. And they're like, no, I wanted cuddles.
I'm never acting nice again.
I had character development. Act happy for me.
Look, the Dare part is important in the Tsundere. It's fine.
I'm just saying, I don't know what it says, but I found her super relatable after this part.
We got through that arc too quickly, and it didn't take us like the 5 hours it would to go over the Namek saga. So we're going to take a break.
Yeah. We're going to take a quick break because I think we're going to need all of our power for this next arc.
So feel free to scream for the remaining 5 minutes as you simulate Goku's fight against Frieza. And yeah.
The next 5 minutes dragged over 50 episodes.
The next 5 minutes, which if you edit the episodes together, is like 5 hours still.
And welcome back to the show, folks, where last we left our lovers, I guess.
I mean, there's no question about that. They are definitely lovers.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We've had a long enough break. Time for another girlfriend. All right, so what scenario is Rentarō getting into this time? He's going to babysit his little cousin. Oh.
Well, he's going to visit his uncle to babysit his little cousin because his uncle loves him so much and hasn't seen him in 10 years because as a young boy, he rescued him from being isekai'd.
Yeah, Truck-kun was coming for Uncle Hero.
Well, that's the thing. I think Uncle Hero is legitimately supposed to be an isekai protagonist because his name is Hero and he dresses like an isekai protagonist.
In other words, this is canonically proving that we live in an alternate universe. Yes.
He was saved from being isekai'd.
He saved us from being the protagonist of another isekai that we'd have to read at some point.
Anyway, Rentarō rings the doorbell. The little cousin opens the door. The zing happens, and even he goes, "Are you kidding me? Shueisha, are you okay with this?"
That's my favorite panel. Is him begging Shueisha, just like, please cancel
Please
this.
cancel us.
Stop it. Stop this right now. I don't care. Make it end.
Because I don't think we're fully conveying the fact that his cousin, who this girl is also like 6 years younger than him.
Uncomfortably younger.
She is first year in junior high.
Which in Japan is 6th grade, I think.
Uh-huh.
She youngin'.
She's also very small for a 6th grader, too. Like,
Yeah.
So
very uncomfortable. To be
Yes.
fair, Rentarō also very uncomfortable.
I can't believe now we're calling is uncomfortable at the prospect of wooing a child a virtue.
a child who is his cousin.
Yeah. Him and Lloyd Forger, I guess. Actually, no, considering how the sense.
Oh, boy.
Lloyd stands alone on that pillar.
Yeah, so basically what the premise of this is that it turns out a bunch of like mistakes keep happening that seem to force Rentarō and his cousin into situations that causes her to take care of him because she is a very responsible girl. And then it turns out that these accidents were actually Rentarō's Uncle Hero setting it up so that they would rom-com into a relationship because he loves his daughter so much that only the most wholesome boy in the entire world would ever be good enough for her, which happens to be Rentarō.
I'm saying this reads like one step removed from like the typical trope where it's like none will ever be good enough for my child. Now watch me like make them my like son husband or daughter wife or something. Like this is one step removed from that. So
I mean, yeah, because it's not like that at all. Like they don't even hint at that.
no, but I'm like the typical trope is that no one on this planet could possibly be good enough for them.
Except Rentarō is. So
And
the manga does not even pretend that's a question that needs to be asked.
yeah, the thing with Uncle Hero is that he has seen that Rentarō has been drowning in this, and he's like, no, I was waiting until she was old enough to make this appropriate. No age would make this appropriate. Anyway, but when I saw you with all those cuties around, I knew I needed to act. So I set up this entire situation so that you would trip into her. She's too young to have prominent tits. So that you would have to take a shower in front of her.
Yeah, no version of this makes this the least bit okay.
It's weird.
Yeah. And the other thing with Chio's gimmick is that she has extreme amounts of OCD, I guess. And if she sees anything even slightly out of place, she enters a teeth-grinding rage until she can put it back where it's supposed to be.
I mean, that's actually very reasonable. I think they do a good job of explaining that part of her personality because her mom died when she was young. She's always been congratulated for being responsible for her age. And it's actually Rentarō who goes, wow, that's a lot of pressure to put on you rather than, wow, you're so strong. Because it's literally, she's at the point of breaking because it turns out if she loses her glasses, she just starts crying because it's a lot of pressure to put on her because she's a child. And what like everyone else around her is going like, wow, what a boon to you. Like that's basically your personality. Rentarō is going like, that sucks. You really shouldn't have all that pressure on you.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be my girlfriend? Okay. God damn it.
In his defense, Rentarō didn't say that part. Chiho is like, you are literally the first person to not put more weight on my shoulders. I love you.
Also, to remind everyone about the premise of this manga, if he doesn't date her, she dies. So
Right, because it's a
For some reason.
It is a destiny load-bearing harem.
God of Love is weird. I don't know. They haven't really mentioned that part of the story, so maybe they're moving past it, but
Maybe.
yeah.
Well, no, they didn't because of the meme-chan.
Oh, right.
arc.
Yep, you're right. They did reference it.
It almost became the 99 girlfriends.
Oh, jeez.
Anyway, we get to see Uncle Hero, and I knew this guy in Anime Club.
Yeah, he is an otaku. He looks like every main character who gets isekai'd. Like
He's Rentarō with long greasy hair and a soul patch, and a shirt that says Super Love.
Yeah, hold on. I forgot the weirdest part about this dude is he says during this part that his plan has been like 10 years in the making because he has completely disconnected him from ever visiting his extended family because he wants his daughter to not have a sibling-like relationship with her cousin, so it's not weird when they get together.
It's weird when they get together.
That you understand how that's worse, right, Uncle Hero?
Well,
There's no way.
Hold on. It is. If you're going to go weirdly, it's not worse that they don't have a sibling-like bond, but the situation is still weird.
It is.
It is a side grade of awful.
Look, the one shining light is when Uncle Hero is explaining his entire plan, and he's like, "When I saw you drowning in cuties, I knew I needed to make my move before you decided to choose just the one." At which point Rentarō goes, "No, you don't understand. All 10 of them are my girlfriend.
What?
Oh my.
Every last one of them.
They are all the one." Oh no. Well, I guess you've got room for one more then.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yep. Really, I love how the manga seems to also not like the fact they've had to do this. Because they treat poor Chio with just the, like, when she's introduced to the girlfriends the next time, it's like, so this is my new girlfriend. She's a middle schooler and my cousin. And the rest of them are like, oh no. Like,
literally the only one who is okay with this is Hahari, and that's how you know it's a problem.
Yeah, this is the part where Hahari gets progressively worse and worse. Oh.
She goes itadakimasu hearing this.
Hahari, over the course of our reading, it's like someone took her personality dial and went from like horny mom to just straight up like being a mom is my kink.
Yes.
Which are two very different things. Like
it went from horny mom to mom, horny.
Oh.
But
yeah, there's a very overt level of we're doing this because we need to check the boxes.
I do appreciate it is really funny to just double down on the two kinks you didn't want to have to deal with and just put them into one character.
The killjoy and the emoto.
Oh, I meant the little girl and the cousin. They do make her a killjoy.
Yeah. So it's basically because like her gimmick is killjoy, and then there's the two kinks that they didn't want to do. They put the unfun gimmick with the two kinks they didn't want to do and put it into this one character so they could get it all out of the way at the same time.
I gotta say, this chapter wasn't fun to read because it was essentially just Chiho running around and telling everyone the wacky antics they do are stupid and wrong. And like, cool. Except until you realize she's doing this to 12 people, so the entire thing is just like, that's not cool. I did find it funny that when she yells at Iku for being weird, she wraps her up in bandages, and at the end she's like, "Hey, I want to apologize for being weird." And Iku's just like, "You don't have to unwrap me." What?
She also wraps up Hahari, and both of them are into it.
Yeah.
Hahari at least gets cut out. Iku's just like, "No, keep me in."
This has unlocked something.
But yeah,
Hikari with her skirt down to her ankles just looks so wrong.
And the question is why? Because I'm sure she's just like, oh, well, I trip when I run, and then they're like, oh, what are you running from? Ha ha ha. But I'm like, I actually think it makes her more sexualized somehow. But I don't know how.
It's because we've gotten so used to her mini skirt.
Yeah, that now it's just like something's different about you, and I can't quite put my finger on it, but
To quote an episode of Gurren Lagann, I wish I could forget, it is more interesting to conceal than to reveal.
I do like how the main moral of this story is Chiho realizing that by trying to make everyone fit her definition of morality, she's made everyone unhappy and worse. And I'm like, good job, manga. I get that not everyone's into every kink. So just let people be happy. Don't try and police it.
The one instance that I found genuinely kind of funny and cute was Shizuka's hair is really curly. So she was like, bedhead, illegal, and started combing her hair. And then Shizuka started playing freaking whack-a-mole with her own curls.
Yeah, poor Shizuka, because she's just like, that's against school policy. You've done your hair in a dissatisfied way. It's like, I just have curly hair.
yeah, that was a little like
Yeah.
curly community would be like, sorry, this is just how my hair curls. I'm not damaging my hair for you. I don't know what to say.
I understand it's distressing, but she's so cute.
Oh, but yeah.
Strong squirrel energy. And then
we've
we get another
also-
ad break, the second ad break of this episode.
And this ad break is so weird because it separates Chiho learning a lesson and then not putting that lesson into practice at all. There's like, she has character development that immediately disappears in the next arc she's in, but we'll talk about that after the ad break.
Well, she's only in middle school.
It's like the ad break made her forget the lessons she learned.
Yes.
But regardless, the ad break is hilarious because it turns out there is girlfriend merch. And the entire chapter is just them shilling the 100 girlfriends merch and apologizing for the fact that they've added 3 girlfriends since the merch was initially produced. And it starts really dumb. And I'm like, this is kind of funny. And then the joke really wears on me. And I'm like, okay, this is really dumb. And then it comes back around to just being intentionally dumb.
My favorite is the bit where Rentarō imagines having so many of the charms hanging over his heart that getting shot in the heart by a gangster, it stops the bullet because his girlfriends protect him.
But no, it would have stopped the bullet, but he moved it out of the way just in time so that they weren't damaged and dies. And girlfriends are like, you are an idiot, do not do that.
Thank God it didn't touch any of my girlfriends. And I'm like, okay, that was really funny. Also, the fact that Karane has all of her merch and she's too embarrassed to keep it like in public, but she's got like a complete set of her stuff.
And it's on the inside, it's inside the flap of her backpack, yeah.
And then also that Rentarō has been hiding the fact that he has an entire suit of armor made out of these charms underneath his school uniform, and it's revealed to the girls, and they're like, oh, he's like, I was trying to make it not seem weird that I'm this obsessed with you. And then the caption for that is just like, make your own Rentarō armor by buying that many charms. And I'm like, that's so funny.
Buy all these charms and you can make your own girlfriend chainmail.
Oh.
On for it.
And the last page is the God of Love, I guess, hoping that he'll be in series 2 for the charms.
No, you won't.
Design rejected.
Anyway, kissing. Am I right? Too lewd. Stop it.
Chiho's Googling online what junior high school relationships are all about. And she's like, wait, they're kissing already? We're too young for that. And then she's just like about to go talk to the people on the school rooftop about like, can you believe some young people are getting in kissing? And then opens the door to see them in an entire circle around Rentarō, all kissing.
They are mobbing my man. He is living right now.
And they're like, no, kissing's illegal. And then all the girlfriends are just like, guys, we're not allowed to kiss him on the school grounds anymore because Chiho's here. But what if Chiho got kissed? And then everyone is way too comfortable with having him kiss his cousin, who's also a little girl.
It's because they're all so pent up for not getting to kiss. They've been denied too long.
I love Iku is really into the denial.
Yeah, she's okay with it. She wins either way.
Of course, Iku is into denial play. Anyway.
And I liked Iku when she was
God.
a tomboy and not whatever this was.
Not when she was a sadomasochist.
Oh, I forget. Is this also the part where there's a really funny joke with Iku that I can't remember what chapter it takes place in, but they basically go, "Hey, do you play video games?" This is like, "Well, I've played a lot of Ghost and Goblins," and I'm just like, you know, if you know, you know, because that game is unfun and hard, and it's literally for masochists, and I'm like, perfect. Like,
uh-huh. Yep.
I think that's a little later, but I remember that joke. So the solution is to we're gonna redo the Kiss Zombie plot line because that was popular.
We're gonna their solution is we're going to drug, not Chiho. That'd be a mistake. We're going to drug Rentarō to kiss Chiho. And that's less bad than drugging her to kiss Rentarō, because they're all horrified that they did that part. But somehow the inverse is fun.
Yeah,
the morality of this chapter is weird.
And Kasuri trips, and the kiss zombie drug goes into Chiho.
And then they keep her locked in place with Hikari
with Yuri makeouts.
With Hikari and Karane taking microdoses of the drug so that they can make out. And I'm like, guys, you didn't need to take the drug.
They didn't need the help.
Also, Chiho breaks the handle off the door, and that really got me for some reason.
That was very funny. She broke the handle off the door so that Rentarō couldn't escape the rooftop.
Raising the stakes for the sequel.
Raising the stakes so we can't just do the exact same thing. And then, even though Rentarō expressed hesitation and that Chiho said she didn't want to kiss until she was an adult, Rentarō then kisses her.
Mm-hmm.
And that resolves the plot, and now everyone can kiss again. And I'm like, I don't know what lesson I learned.
I don't think I learned anything. In fact, I think I got dumber from reading this.
Well, if you're just hesitant about doing this thing, just do it. It'll feel good, dumbass.
If it feels good, do it. Especially if it's your cousin. That's the
Oh my gosh. No.
If only we had some kind of character that would know deeply what it's like to live in Alabama. Yeah. Well, I'm sure it'll come up later.
Yes, of course. We have an entire page of just Rentarō with the S rank support kiss on all the girls.
I was about to say that is a 2-panel spread, a 2-page spread.
It is. It is a whole spread of all 12 girls getting kissed.
It is a amazing wallpaper. Because again, I don't think we've mentioned this in this episode, but man, can this artist draw kissing, and everything else is really just in service of that.
Yep.
I'm just saying, are they too a doujin or hentai artist?
She probably is. I don't
almost
know.
Certainly.
I'm not going to look it up because I feel like that would ruin things, but almost certainly.
But we have a brief chapter where I legitimately thought a new girlfriend was getting introduced.
Oh my god, same. The
reporter girl.
Yeah, the reporter girl has so much character.
That's gonna happen eventually.
I also feel like though with the pacing and everything, it's kind of like, okay, it's about time. And
well, see, here's the thing. Did you notice she's never in the same room as Rentarō?
You got it.
100%. She's like, honestly, this chapter played out and I'm like, wow, it had the self-control to establish a character first. Like, it doesn't make sense to do that for every character. Like, part of the joke is that suddenly this character shows up and here we go, shenanigans ensue. But the fact that they've established one of them beforehand and aren't going to have her like girlfriend plot until later, good for you, manga.
But yes, reporter girl very desperately wants to get a candid picture of Meme-chan in order to do an expose on the most mysterious beauty in all of the school. And
You say beauty, but objectively, she's not the most beautiful girl. That's Mimimi. So what she means is the girl with the biggest boobs.
But her bazonkas be honkin'. Her donghangagahoogs.
Those sweater puppies be barking.
They do.
Omnalanananganogangus.
The reporter uses her her demon slayer technique of total concentration breathing to manage to catch a candid photo.
Her name is Taruru, by the way.
Taruru, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Rentarō,
he's just committing crimes now.
He actively suppresses the newspaper by gathering up all of the copies of the edition that has Meme-chan's picture in it, and then goes with a burning torch to threaten the newspaper club.
Yeah, Rentarō immediately goes, my girlfriend is upset. I am going to commit acts of terrorism. Like, direct quote.
Fortunately, they are able to stop him because Sahari reminds him, hey, do you remember I'm actually like the chairperson of the school? I can probably get this shut down.
I love this scene so much.
And reporter girl goes, hey, how about all these pictures I have of these ridiculously debauched moments of you making out with students, your own daughter, and Rentarō?
Well, I'm just going to let her do whatever she wants. And I'm just sitting there going like, clearly, that's the better story. Like,
on the one hand, my journalistic integrity likes the fact that Hahari has been defeated and the press is unleashed. On the other hand, this is crazy.
Yeah, like in most cases, there's no real winning here. This is just a thing that's happening, and you have to accept that fact.
But she's fun crazy.
I do like Taruru.
Look, they need to get more girlfriends so that she can be introduced, so that she can run the Rentarō family newsletter.
She would.
It would have a bigger reader base than the school paper, I'm almost certain.
Yes. So let's put Meme-chan in a bunny outfit so that she's so embarrassed it forces her to push her vanished jutsu to the limits.
It's effectively weight training.
We get a nice shot of the maid girl's ass.
The panties. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Despite all of this training, she's still not powerful enough to avoid the reporter. However, the training does reveal one thing. Her entire technique is misdirection, making you pay attention to something else. And so the next time that Meme-chan and the reporter have their confrontation, who should be here to be the misdirection but the most beautiful of them all, Mimimi-senpai!
Because the camera loves her.
The camera loves her. And it's Mimimi posing with all of the stuffed animals that
were the previous distraction.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Poor Toru. She is completely distraught about not getting the photo she wanted, but also, oh goddamn, she's so beautiful. I need to do a piece on this.
I'm just saying, this is like legitimately a superpower. Her camera just happens to just auto zero in on anything that's more attractive.
I have lost the battle and won the war. How did this happen?
Yeah, and I liked this bit because what Mimimi was telling Meme-chan is they were using her I have too much confidence, you have too little confidence, and like she's trying to like build up Meme-chan a little bit, using their quirks to develop the characters
for good.
That thing that I was afraid that when we got too many characters, the manga would be doing less and less, which is what's happening. But it was really cool to see it do it really well here.
Anyway, we need another random BS chapter where just all the girls hang out and various cute and or lewd things happen with Rentarō. In this particular instance, he's eepy and he needs a nap because he does like 28 hours of work a day in order to make all his girlfriends happy.
He doesn't sleep anymore because he's got too many girlfriends and they all have different needs and interests that he needs to be experts in.
Yep. And as he's nodding off on the rooftop, all the girls are like, we have been pushing him too hard. We need to make sure that we can do something to help him get his rest. I know. Lap.
Oh no, we need to lap.
My microphone fell over.
Well, too bad. They got a lap.
Lap pillows. Lap pillow contest. Go.
But because they're all so like insanely self-centered, he's only allowed to take micro naps on each of them. Like,
and he has to determine which one is the best.
Uh.
I love it because he lays his head down on the lap. His heart's racing. He's like, how will I ever get to sleep? And then next panel, honk shnoo, honk shnoo, honk shnoo.
And apparently Rentarō has the ability when he falls asleep on someone's lap to enter their mind in their dreamscape.
Yeah.
Me at a fashion show in Paris. Paris
Yeah.
fashion is screamed a whole lot.
And Nano is just laying out there on a conveyor belt.
Honestly, Nano's
It's
dream is
Nano-ing.
it's pretty great. Just lay on a conveyor belt so that you're given a continuous and new view of the starlit sky laying next to your beloved. It sounds pretty great, not gonna lie.
But I just love the background noise. It's just like it's like it's mechanical noises in the background.
What a highly efficient date.
And then it gets progressively more sexual is really the gimmick here.
It's hornier and hornier.
It gets to the point where Hahari has him, and like it's a whole bunch of like baby play after Karane just had like a very sweet normal dream of like cuddling. And then Hahari is just like, ooh, yes, you're my little baby. And then you're like, okay, they gotta tone it down. Let's bring Hikari in there. And he literally doesn't even get the camera to pan down into the dream because they already
Well, it starts with him and Shizuka, and it's like, oh yes, their marriage as Prince Charming and as Prince Rentarō and Princess Shizuka, and then the next panel is his POV of them in bed to consummate the marriage, and him.
And that's the first one where he just leaps up from the lap pillow.
Well, I'm done with that.
Good morning.
And I'm like, I know exactly the kind of book Shizuku's reading.
Oh. There is also a fun one where Mato is literally a dog, which
Yeah, her thing's definitely getting weirder by the second.
Kurumi is Vor.
Oh my god, yeah. And then it eventually ends with them deciding that he should just share them all equally, and they make an entire lap bed for him to lay down on. And then he dreams the most peaceful dream he could think of by giving back to his girlfriends with his Hatsune Miku, not
Junji Ito.
Junji Ito Uzumaki legs that spiral.
That was my first thought too.
Then it becomes a spiral bed.
Spirals.
Spirals.
Look, I'm saying we've gone too long. We need a new girl.
Indeed.
And we remember these people go to class for the first time in what feels like months.
It really does. And it turns out their Japanese teacher, for nebulous reasons, can no longer teach them. So they have a new Japanese teacher coming in. And
this is a great page turn.
America! God bless the USA!
Okay, so I'm sitting here reading this, and I'm on the first page, and it's like, hey, we're getting a new teacher. Okay, we got the teacher, got it. We're checking this box. Okay, who's the teacher gonna be? And then page turn, Planet Texas.
Because we got Miss Natty, and she comes in Daisy Duke's chaps, like just a slutty cowgirl is really the only way to phrase this.
A Stars and Stripes ascot cowgirl hat.
Yeah.
Blonde-haired, blue eyes. As America as Japan thinks America is.
Howdy, y'all Japanese youngins. I come here all the way from the heartland of the heart of the heartland back in the US of A. You can call me Miss Natty, you hear?
Well, God, tootin', don't I just love being from America, the freest place in the entire freedom.
That is cultural appropriation, and it is hilarious.
I love it so much.
Oh, God.
What are you talking about, Jacob? She's from America. It's not cultural appropriation.
You probably assume that she'd be better suited to be their English teacher, right?
And also, because she's super American, she does the most American thing possible and immediately tries to have sex with a student.
Man, people end up on the news for that.
She literally makes eyes at Rentarō and goes like, "Hey, how about you stay after class? I'm really good at Japanese. Now, I think you're going to need some remedial lessons in love." Why are you doing this in front of the school?
Hey, sugar, being all alone here with me bothering you?
They cut back to them sharing a desk. She's like, "You should really get away from me. This is really close." And she's like, "Now, this is how we do it in America. This is how we say hi," as she just makes out with him. And I'm like, that tracks.
Yeah. Sticking her Daisy Duked ass in the camera.
Oh,
That's just a plain old great in there in America.
Then Rentarō's just like, "Hold up. That's stupid.
Wait a minute.
I don't think you're from America at all." It's almost like you're just living stereotypes.
you're actually very Japanese, aren't you?
You're doing the confession thing. I know enough about America to know they don't do that there.
Yeah, Rentarō is like really good at other cultures because he's just like, that's not an American thing at all. That's like a very Japanese thing to do. Like I've always liked you.
Mhm.
Like that's just be chill, man. Just do some casual tongue makeouts
That's very
with a student.
American.
Very
Okay.
American.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
We also get a bit of sad backstory, air quotes.
Yeah, because Nari, she had a part of a very, very traditional Japanese household, but she did not like any of the restrictive aspects of this household. She doesn't like wearing kimonos. She doesn't like any of the like behavioral things that are expected of her. So she's no longer Yamato Nadeshiko. She's now Miss Natty.
I love her backstory as her finding an American film, parentheses, evil. He puts it in and she's just like, "Oh my God, those Americans are so free. They can wear shoes in the house. They
I
can
love that.
They can also eat pizza and drink entire 2 liters of Coke. They're not sharing it. They each have an entire 2 liter." And that's what I fucking love about this country.
As someone who has done that, I can assure you this is accurate.
It's just a bunch of fat American teenagers doing fat American teenager things.
I love this country so goddamn much.
God bless America, baby.
USA.
So anyway, on the next page of Eagle, the making of an Asian American president. Wait, wrong manga.
I want her to like somehow have been in that
she has become
retroactively.
She has become an entire America boo and is banished from her household, which she summons up all of her courage to flip them the bird and go,
Fuck you. I love it so much. She got kicked out for dyeing her hair blonde, and I'm like, that's so fucking American. I love it.
I love it.
Ugh.
Salute this woman.
Yeah, so then she immediately gets into a relationship with her student and then goes up to the roof to make out with them all because that's what you do in America. Then she's got her weird introduction, like gimmick chapter is her basically going like, "Well, I'm from America and we have the most freedoms of everyone. You should all enact your own freedoms because school dress codes are for losers. You think the school told me to dress like this? Well, my mom hired you and she did that just because she's horny."
That sounds about right.
Hired, and it's just
There
like,
is an aside of that, yeah.
"Hey, can I get a job? You're hot. You're in."
You're going to talk back against your boss? My only boss is freedom. But yes,
And we basically just get a fashion show of
with the base excuse that she is forcing all of them to experience creativity and self-expression.
And then at the end, we see them all in their different outfits, and she's just brought to tears, going like, "You're basically the Avengers of freedom."
We've got Meido-chan in her dog outfit, which wags its tail to her heartbeat.
Cute, and yes, I did look to see if those exist. Yes.
Shizuka in her little princess outfit, Chiho in her little policewoman outfit. Just fun police. Kurumi is a magical girl. And basically just goes where you think from there.
A lot of them are just what you'd expect that person to dress like. It's like, like the only one that's weird is Hikari dressing like her daughter, and her daughter getting really turned on by that.
No, it's yeah.
Oh god damn it! Hikari is dressed like Hikari. I don't care.
Hikari dresses like a student.
Hikari is the one wearing only ribbons and chocolate hearts.
Because of course.
Yep. Oh, and of course, to further confirm that he is the greatest man of all, Rentarō is Luffy.
But not post-time skip Luffy, because he hasn't learned hockey yet. Wait, you're gonna learn hockey?
I'm sorry, yet?
Yeah.
Oh, there's also a bit of a running joke of when people's souls leave their body, somebody has to catch it and dunk it back in. The first time Hikari Mato had to catch it, and then when Mato saw Hikari in the school uniform, Kana had to catch and dunk Mato's soul. That was a good joke. I liked that.
And then at the end, Miss Natty comes clean that she's actually Japanese and shows them her driver's license, and I'm like, that's not very freedom of you.
No.
Well, she did need a job.
Also, I'm going to point this out. I don't know why her family would let her get a driver's license. That doesn't seem like their wheelhouse at all. She just needed identification, I guess.
Yeah.
See, Matt, that's what it is. Her adherence to freedom is that she went and got that driver's license on her own and got that job on her own because she's from the land of the free. Gosh darn it.
Well, it kind of gives the impression that she left home, like, because she's a younger teenager when she leaves home, and now she's like a 20-something. So she's been on her own.
This manga, thankfully, being very vague with ages.
Yeah.
Left home, banished from home. I think she actually identifies herself as being 25.
I think she gives an age, but I wasn't paying attention because I don't want to. I don't want to know these things.
I love freedom too much, is really.
Yep.
Also, she flew to America, was there 5 minutes, then got back on the plane just so she could have the passport stamp. And I'm like, why?
I mean, I'm going to go as far as... I was going to go as far as, like, she could easily have, like, maybe not studied abroad, but gotten a job, like, doing something abroad.
You would think, but no, it's she literally confirmed she's been in. Have you even been in America? Is what? He says is like for 5 minutes to get the passport stamp, and I'm like,
okay,
maybe they mean she went to like one of the American territories. That's like I like maybe the American embassy is what she means. I have no idea because she just says she got a passport stamp, so.
I think a plane was involved, so I think it was stupid and extra like you would expect from the series.
Yes.
But like if she's already in America, why would you just leave? I
don't know. I mean,
because these people aren't very smart.
They point out the fact that yes, she like speaks very confidently in English, but it's still very English. Yes.
Oh my god, the bonus chapter where she sneaks textbook and she's just like, yes, I see. They don't pronounce all the letters in their words, so dog is spelled dogu. And she's like, good. And then they date themselves horribly with a pen, pineapple, apple pen joke that even they acknowledge is horribly dated. Like,
it gets the vibe across.
So anyway, with that nonsense over, the last chapter is bad.
Yeah.
They go to an arcade. They get stuck in a the concept of them getting stuck in a photo booth is actually kind of funny because what happens is they all get in. There's just enough room. And then Kusuri is just like, hold on, let me take my drug to turn me into an adult woman because I've forgotten I can do that up until now. And then because she did that, they no longer fit in the photo booth and they're smushing up against each other.
She did the equivalent of like a puffer fish. Why would you do this?
And then exactly one of them is perfectly okay with this situation.
Exactly 2 of them.
Oh,
Yes.
you're right. It is 2 of them.
It's
God damn
Hahari
it.
and Iku.
God damn it, Hahari.
Hahari is just so horny.
It's just nonsense. It's just they're stuck in there, and eventually they have to SOS for the gorilla gang to break them out of the photo booth. But like, they're not actually stuck because how they're pulled out of the photo booth is someone has just dragged out the open door. But whatever, I don't care.
It's just a whole bunch of shenanigans to have everybody squished together. Lots of accidental, massive air quotes, groping.
Well, it's about 50-50.
The majority of this is they're stuck in there and they all need to pee.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this chapter is actually about, because we can't talk about 100 Girlfriends without talking about piss fetishist. You know who you are listening to this episode.
I'm fetish. They're all equally represented, whether we want them to not to be or not.
There are many colors of the rainbow. Some of them are just piss yellow.
But yeah, no, it's just a collection of bits.
Look, it's fine. Kasuri is wearing a diaper.
Fair. There's also the very fun bit where the vial of medicine is being passed around, and then Hahari drops it between her boobs and then just goes, I think a baby's coming, and then it falls through and shatters on the ground, and she's just like, oh yeah. And I'm like, God damn it, why? Why does this need to be her bit?
Yep.
The medicine rebounding off of like 3 girls' tits was pretty funny though.
Yeah. Well,
also Chiho is now fixated upon Big Kasuri as a mom figure, I guess.
I don't know. I just tend to ignore Chiho when she's in groups.
Chiho and Kasuri being paired off is actually very convenient because now I can ignore both of them.
You're right. I completely forgot. There's a whole thing about how adult Kasuri reminds her of her mom because of glasses. And then we get a scene where Uncle Hiro is with the mom at the end, and it just causes questions because I'm like, wait, I thought she died when she was very young, but this appears to be like elementary school age her, but whatever.
Anyway, the point being, bunch of various erotic shenanigans happen. There's a Kaiji reference. I forget that one. Gambling.
It's not even a reference. It's just Kaiji drawn in Kaiji's style, just in the manga. Like,
yeah, he's just there
because they're gambling at the arcade. Because they're playing pachinko is the joke, but it's like,
and the hype around that is creating too much noise for their screams to be heard from inside the photo booth.
It's not even a joke. It's just Kaiji is at the casino. Like, it'd be like, I don't even know what it'd be like. Like, it's.
Anyway, they eventually signal the Guerrera gang. They escape the photo booth. Everyone gets to go piss, and that's the end of our reading.
We made it through. How are we feeling?
Somehow.
We made it through another year.
We did. So, favorite new girl and favorite overall girl, if different from last time. Honestly, I did really like both Mimimi and Meme-chan. I think Meme-chan overall just kind of ticks more boxes, for lack of a better phrase. Though, best girl kind of remains Kurane. Just
yeah,
her being the tsundere and the straight man,
and also very not straight.
I was about to say, Kurane actually had a lot of good had an entire arc dedicated to her in this. Like,
yeah, it was great.
She won out.
She did. So those two, I think. Best new girl is Meme-chan, and best girl overall is still Kurane. Matt, how about you?
Well, I gotta go with Miss Natty because the other two are in no way comparable to the amazingness that is her. Now, does she unseat Iku from last time? I don't know. Because I like Tomboy Iku a lot more than whatever masochist Iku is. But Iku has some of the funniest jokes in this chapter. Like, Iku will just be in the background and will have a joke that's funnier than the main plot of whatever's going on. Like, I would say I don't think Miss Natty has overtaken Iku yet, but I think if we were to do more of this, it would be a strong contender.
Gotcha. Jay, how about you?
This is a hard one because as we've discussed, it kind of descended into just horny madness.
Descended into?
Yeah.
Wallow deeper. I think that's the better way of putting it.
Do you forget the Kiss Zombie chapter? Like,
Yes, it just devolved into madness. I just
Okay.
as weird as it is, Hahari is my favorite. I still like Hahari.
Jay, did you almost say Hahari is my spirit animal?
No.
Not out loud.
No.
Oh, watch out. Jay's giving off some serious tsunderes.
and Jacob.
I really liked the chapter of Mimimi and Meme-chan bonding. I felt that like the way that Mimimi was used was like clever and leveraged her gimmick in a way that like felt, earned, I guess. Feels generous, but that's the best way I can put it off the cuff. And in all honesty, just because, boy, this reading felt long, I think Meme-chan might have overtaken the favorite list just because I enjoyed that like little like 2 or so chapter plot arc with her the most out of what we read.
I will say, as the number of girlfriends increases, the amount that word bubbles will just fill up pages has like exponentially gotten worse.
Yeah.
I think sometimes it's okay to not have everyone chime in.
Yeah, but it's the problem of one of the girls is going to be somebody's favorite, so everyone has to speak. So a lot of the chapters started becoming walls of text.
Well, you just rotate them out is the solution to that.
That's the solution. Yeah, but that hasn't been done yet. I will say Karane and Kurumi are also still great, who are consistently been at my top 2 up to this point. Karane, for the reasons mentioned, like with her whole tsundere arc was fun. And, gotta love a deadpan snarker. So, but I had the most fun with Mimimi. She felt like the most complete character of who we have, at least in the point where she was allowed to do things. So I'll go with that. And
we are more than 10% of the way through all the girlfriends. What else awaits us? I continue to say that until we get a gilf, and it's gotta be Hahari's mother.
100%. We are getting a gilf. Like, Granny needs some action.
Oh God.
Granny's gonna grab you.
I'm reminded of the immortal line from I Love Lucy. Just because there's snow on the roof doesn't mean there's not still fire in the furnace.
Oh God. I think that they're definitely they hinted with Miss Natty, but I feel like they're gonna get either a gaijin or someone or half Japanese character, because that's a trope as well. It's gonna be weird.
I agree with you fully right there, Jay, because like they kind of pulled back Miss Natty to not actually be American, so they definitely do need the like foreigner.
Yep.
And as long as we're just going up like girl tropes, we need, since Iku's taken a step back from being tomboy, I think they're gonna have another character come in and be tomboy, or at least kind of go for like the tan line girl, like the girl who's got like the tan from exercising all the time.
And basically they're gonna get Meat-chan from
Look, if we could get Meat-chan from Shokugeki no Soma, I would die a happy man. But actually, you know what? If we could just get like an actual black character, sure. I do not think this manga's doing that. So
well, we also, Toruru is at some point going to meet face to face with Rentarō, so that's inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to have a nurse. There's going to be a nurse at some point.
What else don't we have?
We got to go through the Halloween costumes, right?
Seriously.
Yeah.
Do we have like, so Meme-chan is kind of like she's into stuffed animals, but she's not like Kikagumari, like wearing like, well, I guess May did that when she dressed like a dog, but she's more like she likes being obedient, not a furry. What I'm saying is they need a furry.
We do need a furry, yeah.
A furry or a cat girl or something.
What? You can't, but they're not allowed to combine the two. Are you saying a cat girl or furry.
I'm saying one or the other. I think that will fill the same niche. I don't think they're going to have both.
that would be too much power.
Ugh.
Oh, and honestly, considering how willing to transgress this series is, one of them's going to be a guy. And
Yes.
Rentarō is once again going to prove to be a man of culture by being totally down for that.
Yes.
I could 100% see a trans woman. Like, just legitimately, like...
I feel like there's going to be a cook. Someone has to cook because there's so many of these girls like to eat.
Now, will a Japanese manga treat that with the reference it probably should? No.
But it doesn't treat anything that it's done with the reverence that it should. So that won't be a change.
Fair. It doesn't matter, I guess. But yeah, they do need a cook. Because Mei is kind of a cook, but she's kind of also not. She's just a maid.
Yeah, like cooking isn't her thing. They have a foodie, now they need the cook.
Do they have a video gamer?
No, they don't.
They don't have,
no,
and they don't have a girl yet.
Do we have a goth? We don't have a goth yet.
Oh, what's the Japanese goth subculture? The Lolita,
goth Lolita, yeah.
Yeah, gothic Lolita. There's definitely got to be one of those like girls who looks like a porcelain doll,
like the perky goth.
We don't have a Ganguro yet.
Oh, yep, Ganguro would be good too. Actually, just like a punk, like a motorcycle girl.
Yep, biker girl.
And we need business girl. We don't have business girl yet.
Yeah, we've had a few that have. Hahari gets a little bit close to it, but that's like it's not her main thing though. Is the big thing.
Her big thing is mommy.
Her big thing is her chest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's got two big things.
Okay, let's narrow this down to a top three. And not a top three in what we think is realistic, just would be the funniest. G-MILF is number one. I don't think there's any.
Yeah.
Big agree. That'd be the funniest.
I think tan line girl is the most likely. Maybe person of color, but probably not that one given this. I would assume tan line before anything. Whether or not that I'd put that at 2.
I feel like a trans character is extremely likely just because this series doesn't care about your sensibilities. Like it really just doesn't.
And even if it's not trans, I could see something adjacent to that, like a cross-dresser, or I could see them going a lot of different ways that would fill the same niche.
Like an Astolfo, kind of.
Yeah.
Like Bridget from...
Yeah.
I could see... Yeah, I think that's a strong number 2.
So, G-MILF, trans woman, and then for number 3...
Because I could also see G-MILF just be an older woman. Like, these aren't, like, exactly this, just that demographic.
Yeah. Does Chiho count as the Emoto?
The what?
The Emoto.
I don't know what that is.
Little sister.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Because they explicitly don't have that kind of bond.
Right.
Which they made clear. Do we have the
childhood friend?
That definitely doesn't exist.
No,
that demographic in like manga, the Chunibyo.
Chunibyo.
The like obnoxiously deep like 8th grader who's just like, I'm an adult.
Yeah, the Chunibyo.
Yeah, I could see that.
You know what they're gonna do? I don't know if this is necessarily a trope, but I feel like this is something it's going to do at some point. At least one of the girlfriends is going to be one of his failed middle school relationships.
Ooh.
And that's going to be a whole damn thing.
You're right. Yeah, the X.
Okay.
The X.
So I guess we're just going to say our wish list is going to be G-MILF, because always G-MILF. Some variety of trans woman or like cross-dressing guy or something that fits that niche. And then third is just X.
So with all this in mind, would you continue reading? Short of doing episodes for the podcast, probably not. Like, I had a decent amount of fun reading this, but we're reaching a sort of critical mass of girlfriends where the X-Man effect has now diluted away from the girls I actually like.
Yes.
I am at the point where reading this feels like a chore but I love doing these episodes so much. It feels like it's like weirdly influencing the reward center of my brain to go like, this series is pretty good. I'm like, no, you just like talking about it.
So labor of love for Matt, and then as is the natural order, I disagree. I don't like reading this. This wasn't fun for me. I stopped having fun rather rapidly. Continue doing them because in all honesty, there were a lot of places where it was really funny and it really worked, but the degree to which the characters are diluted at this point makes them not fun for me to read about. Every now and again, they have a legendary sight gag like Rentarō after the beauty spotting contest or flipping the page to Planet Texas. So I wouldn't begrudge anyone for enjoying this, but I am only ever going to read this for the podcast, I promise you.
And Jay, would you continue reading?
No. Outside of the podcast, no.
Pretty flat. Well, I guess that goes to show. Give this episode lots of traction, and maybe we'll make it more than a Valentine's Day annual tradition.
We do have chapters we need to catch up on, to be fair. So, you know what? Great.
Show us the love, and we'll love this more.
If you're listening to this on YouTube, comment down below that you want us to do more and you don't care what Jacob's opinions are. In fact, say exactly what opinions of Jacob's you thought were bad.
If you want to torture me and punish me for my bad opinions, engage with the video and recommend that we do more of this series.
Okay, Iku.
Anyway, thank you everybody once again for tuning into the Over Manga Cast. As Matt has said, you can already find us on YouTube, and you can also find us on all your other social medias where we are at Over Manga Cast.
The YouTube is on a 2-week delay, so if you want to catch up with our up-to-date episodes, we have overmangacast.com, which also has a place where you can comment on individual episodes.
And as always, we appreciate reviews in any and all forms, so go ahead, drop those down. Love hearing from you. We also take recommendations occasionally. We have a little bit of a backlog right now, but, you know, that'll probably clear up by the time you're listening to this, so tell us what you'd like us to read. You know what? Just because it'd be fun, say you want us to read more Record of Ragnarok. I'm sure that will be great. I'm sure Jacob would...
Great.
Jacob would love that. No, Dragon Ball Super.
So I'm going to be sick for the next couple of episodes.
And make sure to tune in next week where, God, are we really up to 128 chapters of Demon Slayer? We're going to be reading Demon Slayer again, chapters 128 through 136. Wow, there's so much of this manga.
Why do they keep making more? The last arc was bad.
Oh my gosh, the art.
Everyone take a deep breath. We'll get through this.
How did we read 20 chapters of 100 Kanajo, but we're only going to be reading 8 of Demon Slayer?
Well, it's almost like Demon Slayer is worse.
The art for me, it's a struggle.
Anyway, we'll see you all next week. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.